Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. I saw this too. Look at that. That is not AI. So the Vegas Sphere actually did that. Although no one knows who actually sponsored it, but that looks pretty darn good. In case you guys haven't seen the Vegas Sphere, it is massive. I haven't been inside. I've seen outside because I was there when they were still trying to finish construction, but it's an amazing site. It is an amazing site. CZ also said that he tried to get Binance to sponsor back in 2023, but then it never happened because of other distractions. And now he says he doesn't know who did it. But it looks good. It looks good. All right. What else? On Friday, we had a 501 million inflow. So again, Bitcoin is holding so strong, and not only holding strong, slowly ticking upwards. ETFs definitely contributing. You look at last week, we're talking about 2 billion inflow. And this is one of the reasons why Chamath, the expert I was referring to in the title, says Bitcoin will go to 1.14 million. So he's trying to explain it to his fellows. And it's funny because David Sachs is sitting there. And David Sachs, of course, is a special crypto advisor to the White House. So he obviously doesn't need to say it. And other people, they're like, kind of bored when Chamath is going through this. I'm just going to summarize it. Basically, Chamath looks at three things that I talk about every single day. Number one is this phenomenon that happens with every halving event and what happens with Bitcoin afterwards. Basically, just based on tradition almost. You just see this accelerated appreciation. Yes. He also talks about other things like adoption within countries. Some countries are going to start hoarding it for their reserve. Yes. And of course, we have states that will be doing that now too. Yes. And just adoption overall. The maturity of Bitcoin. I mean, so it's simple things, right? And if you put it all together, according to him, his math is saying 1.14 million. I don't know when that is going to happen. I do know it will happen. He thinks it's this cycle. I don't think it's going to be this cycle. But next cycle, most definitely. Okay. I mean, again, you don't need to just rely on blind faith. You don't need to just rely on the fact that, yeah, we had a 4-year cycle and things are going to go up. Again, just look at what's happening. The landscape of the U.S. is definitely changing, for sure, in a positive way. Imagine actually removing capital gains tax on Bitcoin, how big of a deal that is. You get ETF inflows of billions per week. And on top of that, you get a whole bunch of buying from the likes of Saylor, who just bought another $500 million himself, almost 5,000 Bitcoin. He is very, very close to 600,000. Followed by Metaplanet, who then purchased 1,005 Bitcoin with over 100 million, right? So you compound everything together. Of course, Bitcoin is going to go up slowly but surely, but really it's not that slow. If you look at performance year over year, it's not that slow. Annualized return of 140%. Still, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. You just put it all together and realize that there's just not enough to go around. Price is driven by supply and demand keeps going up, and the supply is not increasing. It's really that simple. You got someone else, Volts Capital, that purchased additional 40 Bitcoin, now holds 50. I know that's a small amount, but it's happening everywhere. Duda Logistics, their stock just went up because they plan on acquiring 15,000 Bitcoins and applying for a stablecoin license in Hong Kong. These are just a handful of companies. And think about how many there are out there that will be embracing Bitcoin strategy. And imagine also how many that have embraced, but they just haven't announced it. Not everyone wants to be so forthcoming with their Bitcoin purchase. So I'm sure there are thousands more that I haven't covered that are already purchased. This is the reason why things are so strong and why Bitcoin will continue to get stronger. It's really that simple. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So as for our current price movement, like I've been saying, we've been holding really steady at this 107, midpoint of 107. Will we break out? Yes, we will. We will break out at some point. Here's looking at this bullish pennant that we will break out from. There's others, a lot of patterns that show Fibonacci levels, moving averages, golden crosses, all show that we are ready for that next leg up. And I'm getting that vibe too. This could be the week. We'll see. It's just a matter of when, not if. Other things, let's see. Bernstein calls at 2:30 on Circle. Circle last week did slow down. A lot of profit taking, but let's not forget this Genius Bill Act is still very, very important. Not just in the US, stablecoins all across the world. Okay? People are talking about it. In Europe, MiCA is a lot of, I guess, people want to change MiCA rules to make it more lenient for stablecoins. You got Hong Kong that wants to do a stablecoin bill. You have South Korea that wants to do a stablecoin bill. You got everyone that wants to get involved. So, all great things. Great things for Circle, great things for USDT, and anyone else that's producing a stablecoin. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Still got the usual Robinhood making a huge move today at 4%, so that's good. Circle still barely up. Coinbase made an all-time high last week.